Hey guys, thank you for coming to my channel. Yes, this is Stephanie and my brand name is Bassiani. Yes. So today we're going to make another shorts, but this time I'm going to cut and I'm going to sew. Okay? All right, let's do this, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to measure from my selvage right here to where I fold to make sure they are straight. So from here to here, I want to make sure it's straight so that when I place my fabric on, when I place my pattern on the fabric from my grain line to here, I need it to be straight. All right. And the same thing, this is the back, this is the front. The same thing I'm going to do is measure it. So here's my grain line. All right. And from my grain line to here is 5.5. So I want to make sure the top is also 5.5 right here. So you see it's at 6, so I need to curve. So I need to move this to make it be 5.5. So I move it. So right now this is straight and ready to cut. I'm going to be using this to cut. So that pattern I told you guys to get from Simplicity. This is the same one I'm working with. It's just that, remember I told you to move, to trace it. So that's what I did. So we're going to make another shorts. Okay? Hold on a sec. I want to keep my back to you guys. Hold on. Bring this a little bit more down. I'm cutting it right now. So remember, it's the 8212. That's the legging. Remember, we transfer it to a tracing paper, and then we made the shorts from it. Make sure you look at the other video to see what I did. We just cut 1 inch from the crotch, and this is the shorts pattern, and we're going to make another shorts, okay? Okay. Now, when I made this the first time, it was extremely large, okay? So what I'm going to do is, although it's a 5/8 seam allowance, I'm going to take off 1 inch. Yeah, it's way too big. So I'm going to take off 1 inch. I took off an extra inch. It was so big, you know. Make sure this is even. So it's the crotch, the part that turns, okay? So I'm gonna turn on. You guys can see this. And we're gonna, so remember on the Simplicity pattern, it's a 5/8 seam allowance. So I just use my foot as a guide. And guys, when you're stitching, do not, you're gonna curve. You see that curve? You're gonna come and curve with it. When your face needs to looking like this, do not stretch it to sew. Do not stretch it out and sew. It doesn't look good. All right. So we're gonna do the front and the back. We're gonna curve this while we sew. Okay. Make sure you have your curve. All right. The next thing you're gonna sew is the crotch itself. So what we did was the center seam, and now we're gonna do the crotch. Remember, the crotch is a 5/8 seam allowance. Okay. Then we're gonna sew the sides of the shorts. Okay. So the sides. Now we're going to the next side. Okay. Now we finished the shorts. Okay, but it does have a yoke. So the yoke is made differently. You're gonna sew it at the sides. And then we're gonna do a little trick here because we need this to be even going around. So we have to stretch this a little bit. So we're gonna put notches. Okay. Notches. Putting notches. So what I'm doing, I do it evenly at the center seam. So what I did was, where I stitch at, right here, that's a notch. Then I go like this, open it back up, put that one in the middle right there. It's that notch. Put that in the middle right here, and put a notch there, so that we're gonna catch it on the 4 seam. So we have the 2 seams at the side and 2 seams in the middle, and we want it evenly distributed because remember we have to stretch this to the waist seam, the waist, because this is a yoke. All right. Two ways you can do this. You can stitch it first and then put it on, or what I do, pin. You need just 4 pins. So this is what we're gonna do. This is the shorts. This is the front of the shorts. So you know this seam right here goes to the back, right? This seam goes to the back. This right here. So this is gonna go to the back like this, and we're gonna pin it down, seam to seam, pin it down right there. That's the first one. The second one, you're gonna pin it to this seam right here. Okay, pin that down. The third one, you're gonna pin it to here. Third one. The last one, I'll pin it. Oops. Ooh. This one, we'll put it right with this one right here. Okay, so we pin all 4 sides, right? Now we're gonna stitch. Make sure that when you're stitching, the band is the one to need to be on top. The band is the one you're gonna stretch. The shorts is what you're gonna leave alone. You're not gonna stretch that. Okay, so we're gonna open this up. I'm gonna use this as a guide right here. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna slightly stretch the top. One thing you don't want to do is run over your pin with your industrial machine. No. And we're done. Okay. So it's right here. Okay. And this is your shorts. All right. I mean this. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. This is your shorts. All right. So we're gonna try it onto our mannequin and see how that looks. Okay. nicely. Remember, for shorts pattern, and that is from A212. Now, this is just too plain for me. All right, too plain for me. All right, so you can do a lot of stuff here, but I'm gonna do this a little bit different. All right. I've messed up so much. Fabric is not even funny, but I want to do something different. You never do this. You always do it on paper. But I feel like doing this, so let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So what I did was cut it like this. Alright? So I know how crazy I am. So let me see what I just did. Alright, so let's do this. I still have my purple on. I'll do this. And what I'm doing is putting it this, putting the fold over right at the edge right here. And I'm gonna move this to make it really neat. All right. What I'm gonna do while I'm sewing this, I'm gonna slightly and that's her. Remember I told you about that shorts pattern? Remember I told you about that shorts pattern? That shorts pattern can make a billion of things. All right. So that same shorts pattern made this. Okay. All right. Use your creativity. One thing about creativity is that I can take up any one of my sewing books right now and it says how to be a designer. And one of the things they always say is to look through magazines. Your Vogue magazine, what do you call it? Lucky. Some other magazines that are out there that show fashion. Okay? And you look at it, all right? And you can take those information and put it towards your dancewear. Okay? So I was making the shorts and then something just clicked and said, man, I could do it this way. And I did it this way. So the top, I'm going to see what's spinning my head. And then some of the stuff that I really actually write down. I have a book. I've got a book. And I write down everything in my head, put it down there, and then test it out and see if it will look nice. And then I put it, on Etsy and see if anybody will buy it. And then you can see if, yeah, this will work out for you. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you for staying with me. I have to break this one down. It's at 42 minutes. I got to